Hey, Brent Porcio here at the ABCA in Dallas. I've got special guest George Loft from Long Island, New York. Has got Top Velocity out there. Excited to have him here. So say hi, George. Everybody.
Hey, how are you guys today?
So how's the event been? Have you enjoyed this year's ABCA?
The event's been excellent. Got to definitely meet some cool people, make some nice networking. Love coming down and spending time with my fellow Top Velocity people. It's been awesome.
So how long have you had the facility going in Long Island?
So we're going into our third year in our bigger facility. We had a smaller facility for a couple of years, but we've been involved with Top Velocity now. We're going into our third year.
And you've been around baseball for a while. So why don't you tell them a little bit of your history, how you got started, how you got into baseball, how this all grew,
So I started out as a player myself, but from the time I was very young, I was always coaching, and I loved coaching. So when I got to out of college, I played for Pfeiffer College in North Carolina. When I got out of playing for them, I immediately went into coaching, got involved with the high schools, coached at the college level, and I've been doing travel ball now for close to 15 years now.
That's awesome. So, and what's it like in Long Island? Like, I'm sure baseball is huge up there, but what's the challenges most of them have? Is it finding space? Is it finding places to practice? Or
so the big challenges in New York are it's very competitive. You've put together the best product you can. We've been very lucky with our teams, our Yeti baseball teams. We've gone from 3 teams to 5 teams to 7 teams to 12 teams, and now we're at 18 teams. But it's such a competitive area that if you're not constantly bringing cutting edge stuff, which is what we did with Top Velocity, we offer stuff that a lot of other organizations don't offer, but that's how we're able to continue to grow.
So tell them a little bit about your facility, exactly where it is, kind of the layout, who you service there and everything.
So we are about a 1/10 of a mile from MacArthur Airport. We're in Holbrook, New York. We have a 7,500 square foot facility. We have a full gym set up in there. We have 4 batting cages that we're able to pull out. We can put up 6 or 7 throwing lanes, multiple mounds to be able to throw off of. And we service, not only do we service our own organization, which, has over 200 athletes that are currently in the program, but we take athletes from outside. We've had people come from as far as New Jersey to do our Top Velocity programs and stuff. We get a lot of local high schools that'll have their pitching staffs come in. So it's been phenomenal. We love it. The program for our guys has been a difference maker. We've had kids go up 15 miles an hour. You know what I mean? Crazy numbers that are borderline unbelievable, but it's been super consistent. Anybody that puts the work in, they're seeing the results out of it, and they're really jacked about being in the program.
And your son has been a great testimony. He came down to us, did camp with us.
Yeah.
It's continued to have success at your facility. He's now been helping coaching a lot of kids. You would kind of tell what your son's done with the program.
So Tyler was your typical right-handed pitcher. He'd go to a showcase, and he'd be sitting, 80 to 82. Right-handed pitcher, 6'3", at the time, he weighed 165 pounds, was very strong, had a high deadlift, high squat, but his flexibility, as we took him to you guys and we figured out that the flexibility was his big issue, put a tremendous amount of time into his flexibility, a lot of work into it, was sitting, 86, 88, you know what I mean? And for him, it was a big deal at the college level at that point to be able to, make a difference. And we just wish we knew about the program earlier, because it really would have been, a lot better situation for him. Would have separated him from the rest of the group of right-handed pitchers.
So, is there any other testimonials y'all have had that have been great stories that turned around to be kind of leaders and maybe guide others?
We had a kid who came in a couple of years back. His name was Logan Brid, and he was I don't even know if he weighed 100 pounds at the time. He was a 7th grader, and he was I think he was throwing 58 miles an hour initially. He started in September. We started the program in September. By the time travel ball. He was a month and a half into travel ball. He was throwing in the low 60s, started to get hit around a little bit because now he was, instead of being below the speed, he was at the speed of everybody else. By the time school ball started on March 20th, he was at 73 miles an hour and was now striking guys out. It was, so he was one of the kids but he was in there religiously every single day. I had another boy named Connor Catania who plays for one of the local high schools, Smithtown West by us, who went up like 10, 12 miles an hour. Not only from the mound was it a big deal, but he played third base when he didn't pitch. And when you see him throw the ball across the diamond, it was a completely different throw. Flat, sometimes we would hold our breath thinking it wasn't going to make it there, and he'd be hitting the guy in the middle of the chest. It was a big deal. We have a guy who's there now, Joe Manella, he's lost 35 pounds, completely changed his body. He was a little bit of a heavier kid, changed his body. He's chiseled now, and he looks completely different. He has really changed his game completely. We're very excited about him going into this year. We had a Dylan Ruland he's up into the mid 80s now, and he's in the 11th grade, his 11th grade year, so it's a big year for him. We're very excited about his progression. It's been great. It's been great being involved with the program.
That's awesome. And you've got a lot of travel teams. Why don't you tell them a little bit about the travel teams and the growth you've had with the travel teams and everything?
So again, we've had steady growth over and over again. We probably have about a 96% return rate, which is big for us because for us it's 100% about loving on the kids and giving them every opportunity they can have to get better. They have really taken on to the programs. Even the 13 and unders come into the Start Right program, and they're just killing it. They love it. Some of those guys are the most religious. They're in there sometimes 4 or 5 days a week. They love the program. When our last year's 12-year-olds went to 13, and now they get the app, and they're in there, now they're even more excited. But they had such a great foundation from the last year and a half of being in the Start Right program that they jump in, and it's almost seamless. So we're very excited about that this year.
Well, awesome, man. I mean, as we close, anything that you'd like to say, you'd like to add on, or about the facility or whatever?
I think it's still, what people don't understand is everything is on the table. If they want to put the work in, it's there. The opportunity is there. This is a program that works. I will never tell anybody it's easy. Sometimes people come in and it's almost like I'm trying to talk them out of doing it. But if they come in and they put in the time and they dedicate the time to it, we've had 100% success. We've had 1 or 2 kids maybe in the entire 3 years of us doing the program that just didn't put the time in. And those were the guys who got less of a result. The guys who have put the time in, who are in there on a regular basis, who are working hard, sticking with our program, eventually the results come every single time.
That's great, man. Well, appreciate you having on and excited for all your new growth coming this year. And but thanks for being on.
Thank you.
Also, too, let's tell them how can they find you? That'd be important.
So you can go to Loft Baseball online. You know what I mean, on Instagram. You can go to Top Velocity Central Long Island on Instagram. You can also, we have Facebook pages for both. Also, you can find us on Facebook. You can always call the facility, Loft Baseball 365, and we would love for you guys to be involved.
Well, thanks again. And
I just want one more thing, if I could just say, when you deal with somebody like I've been dealing with you guys, Brent, and the knowledge that you have and the support that you have given us over the years, it's an invaluable thing for us. And I know I always have you to make a phone call to, and for you your response to us is tremendous between you and Dr. Pat. Anything we need, we get. If we need nutrition products for the athletes, we get that stuff. From equipment to, just advice on how to handle the athletes and stuff. We really appreciate that.
Well, thanks, George. You're a big part of the brand, so we love having you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we'll see y'all next time. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.